Well, I told you if he ever decided to run for president, he would raise Cain, Herman Cain, doing that literally. Comments over the weekend that jolted a lot of folks when he was asked about whether, given his harsh views on Islam, he would ever appoint a Muslim to his administration. The always frank former business titan said, no, he would not. With me now, Herman Cain. Well, you know, they're all over you on this, Herman. You want to clarify that or expound on it?
Hey, Nia. A reporter asked me would I appoint a Muslim to my administration. I did say no, and here's why. But the reporter didn't tell you this. I would have to have people totally committed to the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of this United States. And many of the Muslims, they are not totally dedicated to this country. They are not dedicated to our Constitution. Many of them are trying to force Sharia law on the people of this country. And so, yes, I did say it. And that is because I don't have time to be watching someone on my administration if they are not totally committed to the Declaration and the Constitution of the United States and the laws of this country.
So what if they told your prospective cabinet member in a Cain administration, look, I'm Muslim, but I would honor all of the above, and I would not be necessarily for Sharia law?
Then in that case, I would certainly consider that individual. But see, my motivation for saying no, I wouldn't was based upon the fact that they are trying to push Sharia law off on this country. And I'm simply not going to try and be politically correct in order to help facilitate that. But if they were to give me a commitment and they had some very critical skills to bring to the administration for the good of this country, of course I would consider them.
Okay, so you're not saying never, never, never.
No, I'm not saying never, never, never. Look, as you know, Neil, one of the biggest things that any leader has to do, especially the president, is to surround himself or herself with the right people. There are tons of capable people in this country. And while I have been in this exploratory phase, yes, I have been considering who would I put in various roles? Who do I consider to be some of the true patriots of this country that could help a Herman Cain cabinet if I were to run and become president? And so, yes, so far I have not come across, or I don't have acquaintances with people who have professed their Muslim religion that are on the list of people that I would consider. We have become a nation of crises, Neil, and being politically correct isn't something I'm going to spend a whole lot of my time worrying about when we got all of these other problems that we're facing right here in this country.
Well, you might have many issues, Herman. Being politically correct ain't one of them. But if we could move on to just speaking of that view on Muslims, this conflict, whatever we're going to call it, whatever the president's going to call it tonight, we are ostensibly supporting the overthrow of the present regime in favor of rebels who might or might not like us. We just don't know. But given your view, and maybe your suspicions about many Muslims, would you support this effort to free them, this effort to liberate them? What?
At this point, Neil, I believe that the president's speech tonight should answer some questions that have not been answered. So I can't give you a direct answer because these questions have not been answered. Number one, what is the mission? The American people aren't clear on the mission here. We've gotten statements from the president. We've gotten statements from the Secretary of State. We've gotten statements from Secretary Gates, but they haven't necessarily all been consistent. Secondly, once we know the mission, what's the plan? I don't mean that the American people need to hear all of the details of the plan, because I don't want the people that we are fighting against, if that's the case, to know the plans. So we need to be clear on the mission. The American people deserve that. And do we have a plan in order to do it? And here's the third most important question that the American people are asking. I get asked this all the time. Will this plan entail putting our troops in harm's way directly? These are the three questions that I believe the president really needs to answer for the American people in this speech tonight.
All right, we'll watch closely. Herman, thank you very much.
Thank you, Neil.